When Alex left me alone at the wedding, I knew he had been reborn too. He said, "I can't lie to myself anymore. This time, I don't want to miss out on her again." In the previous life, my sister came to the wedding in her gown to take him away, and Alex refused. My sister was heartbroken, left the country to become a war correspondent, and eventually died on the job. On the same day, Alex took his life for her, driving his car into a river. The dashcam on the car recorded his final moments, and I learned of the repressed and desperate love he'd had for my sister all those years. Now, reborn, I watched Alex and my sister leave, and I couldn't help but laugh coldly. What Alex didn't know was that my sister had always loved taking things from me. The more I liked something, the more she wanted it. If I didn't want it, she would lose interest. Chapter 1. At my wedding with Alex, the officiant asked Alex, "At this moment, what is the one thing you want to say to the bride?" Alex took the microphone, his voice excited and loud. "Selena, I love you." The audience was in an uproar, because I wasn't Selena. Selena was my sister. She was, at that moment, cautiously walking into the wedding venue in a bridal gown, intending to take Alex away, except that in the previous life, Alex had refused her. He said he only loved me. The rejected Selena was so devastated that she left the country to become a war correspondent, and died on the job. Upon hearing the news, Alex took his own life the same day, driving himself and his car into a river. The dash cam recorded his final moments. "I regret it so much. Why did I marry Nicole out of obligation? Why didn't I leave with Selena back then? Why did I let her go abroad? Now that she's dead, what's the point of me living? I'm sorry. Selena, I'm sorry. I'm coming to join you now. From now on, neither of us will be alone." Alex's voice was full of despair, regret, and agony. Every word felt like a knife, repeatedly stabbing my heart. The saddest part was that, at that time, I was already 8 months pregnant. A week after Alex's death, the resurrected Selena openly appeared before me. I didn't die. I just told Alex a little lie. I never thought he would take it seriously. Turns out he loved me that much. She stood before me, in the posture of a victor, watching me as if it were a joke. Since childhood, she loved to take things from me. She was my father's illegitimate daughter. When she was 10, her mother abandoned her, and my father had no choice but to bring her home. After coming home, she put on a harmless facade, but behind the scenes, she couldn't stand me being better than her in any way. Whatever I had, she would go to any lengths to obtain. For instance, my grandparents' love, my father's love, and even my mother's love. And, for instance, the clothes, dresses, jewelry, and makeup I liked, whatever I had. She made sure she had it too. Honestly, I knew she would try to take my boyfriend, but I didn't think she would succeed. Chapter 2. Alex. Is it true? Selena looked at Alex with immense joy, her eyes brimming with tears of happiness. "I should be brave for us this one time," Alex said resolutely. He walked down, leaving me alone on the stage. He stood before Selena, gently wiping her tears. Turns out, Alex could be this tender to others as well. I met Alex during our freshman year. He was a poor student. His parents had passed away, and the only family he had was his elderly grandmother, who collected recyclables to support his education. Out of kindness, I sponsored him. I was also kind enough to accompany him to the hospital when his grandmother fell ill, and I helped pay for the medical expenses. In the previous life, Alex pursued me. He said I made him feel the sunlight and warmth of this world. He said he knew he wasn't worthy of pursuing me, but he feared that years later, I would belong to someone else, so he couldn't take the risk. But he made a promise to me. He said he would work hard to give me a better life, and if he ever betrayed me in this lifetime, he would cut off his own legs. With my support and encouragement, Alex rose to success, and shortly after graduation, he became a rising star in his field. He kept his promise, marrying me at the peak of his career. But after we got married, I no longer felt his passion for me. And now, the look Alex gave Selena was burning with desire. His eyes filled with the joy of regaining something precious. "What about my sister?" Selena said hesitantly. She looked at me. No one noticed the trace of triumph hidden in her eyes. I would never forget what she said in my ear before she pushed me down the stairs, leading to my death. All I did was pretend to fall in front of Alex, then accidentally let him see the bruises I made myself. He felt sorry for me. He thought I was being abused at home. Did you think he kept his distance from me all these years because he hated me? No, it was because he was afraid he couldn't control his desire for me. Do you know how much he struggled? But I really didn't expect that Alex would marry you in the end just out of responsibility. If I couldn't take what was yours, then let him die. Neither of us should have him. Now that you know the truth, sister, you should die too. Only I can be the princess. I fell from the tall staircase, and with it, both my life and that of my unborn child ended. When I opened my eyes again, it was the day of the wedding. Turns out Alex had been reborn too. Chapter 3. Alex looked back at me, his eyes showing no hesitation or doubt. I can't lie to myself anymore. This time, I don't want to miss out on her again. After saying that, he didn't give me a chance to speak at all, taking Selena by the hand and leaving without looking back. I watched Alex's figure walking away for love, and a cold smile appeared at the corners of my lips. He didn't know that Selena always loved taking my things. The more I liked something, the more she wanted it. If I didn't want it, she lost interest. That grand wedding, naturally, came to an abrupt end. My broken engagement to Alex became a joke to others. I was the one being ridiculed. No one blamed Selena for being the other woman. I knew Alex had given word to the people in his circles. He's now a rising star in the industry, and no one dares to cross him. I didn't bother to clear my name. After all, Alex's karma would come soon enough. Right now, I am more focused on getting my own career off the ground. After getting together with Alex, my focus had been on him, managing his company, entertaining for him, and when his career stabilized, I willingly returned to being a homemaker. I thought he was worth it. What a fool I had been. A month after Alex and Selena disappeared, they returned home. Selena was kneeling on the ground, crying her heart out. It was as if she was the one being wronged, even though she was the one who had taken someone else's husband. When I got home, I saw my parents' faces full of helplessness. No matter what, my parents couldn't help but be angry at Selena for doing something so outrageous at my wedding. But now, because of Selena's tearful apologies, their anger seemed to soften. The moment Selena saw me, she broke down even more. She knelt and crawled over to me. Sister, you can punish me however you want. Just please don't blame Alex. It's all my fault. Anything? I confirmed. Anything, Selena said firmly. In the previous life, I had also indulged Selena, not only because she could pretend well, but I also thought that if she liked what I liked, it was because she lacked confidence, always wanting to imitate me. Of course, the most important thing was that I never thought it was worth arguing with her. Since childhood, the confidence my family gave me made me never think that Selena could ever rise above me. I still underestimated her. So at this moment, I bent down and slapped Selena hard across the face. The sound of the slap was loud, and Selena was stunned. Before she could react, Alex roughly pushed me away, almost making me fall. He protected Selena in his arms. Nicole, the issue between us has nothing to do with Selena. You can take it out on me. Fine. I didn't hesitate and stepped forward, slapping Alex right across the face. For scumbags and homewreckers, I'd slap them one by one, pair by pair. Chapter 4. Alex was fuming after I slapped him. He probably never expected that I, always so gentle, could be this rough. My parents were stunned too. A month after being left at the altar, I hadn't shown any signs of emotional collapse at home. Instead, I focused on bettering myself. They knew I had always avoided getting into conflicts with my sister, so they assumed I was turning my grief into motivation, that I had moved on from it all. Moved on? How could I? Good and evil will receive their due, it's just a matter of time. Nicole, we came back this time to sincerely apologize to you, Alex said angrily, as if he had every right to do so. It was as if he thought that just because he admitted fault, I should be grateful and forgive him. I laughed in exasperation. What a shameless person. Just because you apologize, I have to accept it? I asked Alex. So if I killed your entire family and said sorry, does that make it okay? So why do we need police, laws, morals, or values in this world? My sarcasm left Alex feeling awkward. He probably never expected me to be so unyielding, refusing to give him any face. In the past, I always cautiously protected his pride. I knew he felt insecure about his background, so whether in public or in private, I always ensured his male ego was intact. He got used to enjoying that, so now my uncharacteristic behavior caught him off guard, leaving him speechless. Selena spoke up at this point. Sister, I know you love Alex very much, so it's hard for you to accept us being together. But love can't be one-sided. We genuinely love each other. Please let us be together. If I say I won't, will you break up? I asked Selena with a smile. You were never this unreasonable. Alex doesn't love you. You two wouldn't be happy together. You should actually be grateful that you and Alex didn't get married. That you didn't create a true tragedy between you, Selena said, sounding righteous. I had to admit, Selena was right. Marrying Alex would have been my tragedy. But did that justify her stealing someone else's husband? I sneered sarcastically. This is the first time I've heard someone talk about being the other woman as if it's noble and virtuous. Selena blushed from my jab. Before she could retort, I questioned her further. Should I thank you? Then? Thank you for humiliating me by crashing my wedding with Alex? Thank you for coming between Alex and me? Thank you for making me realize just how trashy Alex is and how unworthy he is of my lifelong trust. Thank you for being the homewrecker? She's not a homewrecker. Alex defended her immediately. I know you're having a hard time accepting our breakup, but I don't love you. Nothing you say will change my resolve to be with Selena. Alex, do you think I'm some pathetic person? I looked at him as if he were an idiot. What made you think I would have any lingering feelings for someone irresponsible, unfaithful, clueless, brainless, and tainted? Am I a garbage dump? Nicole, how did you become like this? Do you know how ugly you look right now? Alex was triggered by my words, growing furious. The more you act like this, the less I could ever like you again. Chapter 5. Then I should thank you for the blessing of not liking me, I said with a cold smile. You. Alex was left speechless. His face turned red. He probably never imagined, even in his dreams, that I could become this sharp and caustic. Selena tried to calm Alex down. Don't be mad. She's just saying these things in the heat of the moment. I believe she will forgive us eventually. Alex took a deep breath, trying to compose himself. He said, Nicole, no matter what, I am truly grateful for your support back then. To repay you, I genuinely wanted to be with you and take care of you for life. The more I listened, the more ironic it felt. So what he meant was that being with me was out of obligation, because I helped him. And he had no way to repay me except by offering himself? He was being held hostage by a sense of morality. Nicole, but I've tried. I'm not happy being with you. I don't want our marriage to become a burden for us. You can have better, and I can be with my true love. Saying this, Alex looked tenderly at Selena. The two exchanged a sweet smile. Disgusting. Even my parents couldn't stand it anymore. Alex. Selena. You said you came here today to make amends for the harm you caused Nicole. In other words, this was not the place to flaunt their love. Here's a card. Alex took out a bank card. I did the math. Back when you supported me and paid for my grandmother's medical expenses, it totaled around 30,000 yuan. This card contains 3 million, a hundredfold return. You're not losing out. I looked indifferently at the bank card. Thankfully, I had no expectations left for Alex. So I wasn't too heartbroken. 3 million is quite a lot. But did he forget that it was because of me he could find work, start his company, and get to where he is now? Forget 3 million, even his current net worth of 30 million is all thanks to me. Sister, Alex has been more than generous to you. If it were anyone else, at most they'd return the money you gave, plus some interest, not more than 100,000. Selena egged him on. Since graduating college, you haven't worked a day, haven't earned a cent. All these years, Alex has been supporting you. You should be content. Is that what you told Selena about me? I asked Alex. Alex's eyes flickered, and he didn't answer directly. clearly indicating that it was true. He said, "Nicole, I just hope we can part on good terms. After all, we're still family." Part on good terms? Back when Alex graduated and started his business, I was by his side from the ground up to help him secure projects. I drank until I had stomach bleeding, and I even got groped by some sleazy bigwigs. Alex knew all this well and had once been full of guilt. But in the end, it still turned into Selena's dismissive "never earned a penny." I took the bank card. I saw Selena sneer in disdain. Alex also breathed a sigh of relief. After all, even if my family isn't poor, $3 million is not a small amount. They were convinced I wouldn't refuse. And I didn't disappoint them. I wish you both everlasting love. Thank you, sister, for giving us your blessing. Selena thanked me, but there wasn't much joy in her eyes. Just like every other time, she had stolen what was mine, and it always ended smoothly. She had long been accustomed to such outcomes. I didn't expect that in the next moment I would slowly add, a slut with a dog, forever together. Chapter 6. Alex and Selena's faces turned pale from my words. Selena finally couldn't keep her composure, and she said righteously, "Sister, you took the money, and now you're acting like this. Don't you think you're being a bit hypocritical? First of all, this money is what I deserve." I said each word clearly, making my point. Now, everything Alex has is thanks to me. No matter how much money he gives me, I deserve it. Second, you both cheated, and that is your fault, and it left a stain on my life. Getting compensation is only fair. Lastly, I wasted 10 years of my youth on a dog. Is $3 million too much? Selena was speechless. Alex didn't expect to be met with such resistance today. His face was cold as he said, "No matter what, I don't want to argue anymore about who's right or wrong between us. When were you ever right? Fine. Let's say I was wrong." Alex couldn't argue with me and had to go along. But as things stand, I've done everything I can. If you don't forgive me, there's nothing I can do. The only thing I hope now is that you don't hate Selena. If you must hate someone, hate me. Don't worry. I won't punish myself for your mistakes. Hating you both would only be a waste of my life. I didn't waste any more time on them. Alex would get what he deserved sooner or later. As for Selena, being with Alex wouldn't end well either. Did she really think Alex was a good person? I ignored them and went back to my room. For me, what was more important now was developing my career. I would no longer be foolish enough to pave the way for someone else. In the days that followed, I focused solely on my work. Using the $3 million that Alex gave me, I started a digital media company, signing a lot of influencers and livestream hosts, opening a live shopping channel, and putting a lot of effort into new media like novels and short videos. The company grew rapidly. I was so busy that I only slept 5 or 6 hours a night, eating in short bursts, with no time at all to care about Alex or Selena. Until one day, a former partner of Alex's company, Nestor, called me because he couldn't reach Alex. He asked whether the collaboration, which was about to expire, would be renewed or not. He didn't know that Alex and I had gone our separate ways. That project had been secured by me, so he could only reach out to me. No renewal. I said, "But I am willing to work with you." I told him about my split with Alex. Nestor readily agreed, saying that signing the contract with Alex was originally out of respect for me. Plus, Alex had been inconsistent with his work lately, hardly showing up at the company, and it was difficult to reach him when problems arose. Many partners were dissatisfied with him. Hearing this from Nestor, I felt no need to be polite. Previously, I hadn't touched Alex's clients, not out of any humanitarian reason, but because taking over his clients would require resources. After my rebirth, I knew exactly which markets were more advantageous, so there was no need to waste energy. But now, business was being handed to me. There was no reason to refuse. Chapter 7. I started to gradually reach out to Alex's partners. Most of them decided to let their contracts with Alex expire and chose to work with me instead. And yet, throughout this whole time, Alex didn't seem to notice at all. In the past, that would have been impossible. The old Alex was a workaholic, though sometimes lacking negotiation skills. He was always serious and responsible at work. He would never have allowed his clients to be taken away. He was at least that vigilant. But of course, it's not surprising now. Whenever I had a rare moment of free time, I'd scroll through social media to relax, and I'd see Selena and Alex enjoying life, traveling all over. They were like a couple of wanderers living freely. Selena posted multiple updates every day, and Alex would like and comment on each one. Then Selena would reply again, back and forth. Their social media had become a place where they showed off their love without any restraint. Half a year passed by like that, and during this year's spring festival, Alex and Selena returned from traveling abroad, bringing back a lot of gifts for my parents. Selena also brought me a gift. She said, "Sister, I bought you this pink crystal bracelet, specifically for you. It's said to attract romance and has been blessed. I heard from Mom and Dad that you've been alone these past 6 months, and Alex and I have been worried about you." No need to worry. I handed the pink crystal back to Selena. I just prefer quality over quantity. After all, meeting another dog would be too costly. Alex's face darkened. "I won't be having dinner here. I've got something to take care of." I said that as I headed to my room to change clothes. Watching them had completely killed my appetite. As soon as I stepped into my bedroom, I got a call from Luis. Luis was a high school classmate of mine who had just returned to the country not long ago. We met at a class reunion, and since we had some work collaborations, we stayed in touch. "Are you free tonight? During the new year, you're not having dinner at home?" I laughed. Too many relatives at home, all those aunts nagging me about marriage. I can't take it. "If you're free tonight, want to have dinner together?" "Sure." I happened to be looking for a dinner partner. Luis said he would be downstairs to pick me up in 10 minutes. I quickly changed my clothes and did my makeup as fast as possible. I hadn't worn makeup in a while, and it was New Year's, so I put a little extra effort into it. I walked into the living room and saw Alex and Selena cozying up together. They looked very sweet, but it was an eyesore. "Sister, are you dressed up so nicely to meet your boyfriend?" Selena asked deliberately. Alex also looked at me. "Who I meet, is it any of your business?" "I'm just concerned for you," Selena pouted, then deliberately said in front of my parents, "Mom, Dad, it's been so long. Why is my sister still like this? I've been trying to be so careful around her." My mom wasn't putting up with Selena's nonsense either. She had once pitied Selena, thinking the mistakes of the previous generation shouldn't be punished on the next. So, when Selena returned home, they didn't argue with her much. Plus Selena was always sweet-talking and playing the victim. But ever since she took Alex, my mom seemed to see Selena's true colors. She said bluntly, "You're being careful? Then why are you cozying up to Alex right in front of Nicole?" "You're being careful?" Posting almost 100 updates on social media every day to show Nicole how in love you are with Alex? Selena's face turned red from what my mom said. She stammered for quite a while before saying, "I thought my sister had already let it go. I'll be more mindful next time." "No need to be mindful. Post what you want," I said indifferently. "I'll just watch it like a joke." "What do you mean?" Selena asked, visibly annoyed. Exactly what I said. After all, the higher you jump, the more it hurts when you fall. I didn't waste more words on Selena and left. Luis was already waiting downstairs. When he saw me coming out, he immediately got out of the car and opened the door for me like a gentleman. As I got into the car, I almost felt like there were eyes watching me from above. I smiled coldly. It looked like there would soon be an interesting show. Chapter 8. After dinner with Luis, I came back at 10, carrying a bouquet of flowers. Usually, at this hour, Alex and Selena would have left already, but tonight they were still here. Seeing the bouquet of champagne roses I was holding, Selena's expression visibly changed. With the same expression she always had when she wanted to take what was mine, her eyes glowing, filled with excitement. "Sister, done with your date so early?" Selena asked me. I ignored her and began carefully placing the champagne roses into a vase. One by one. "I saw you earlier, leaving with a tall man. Is he your boyfriend?" Selena continued. "What? You're interested too?" I scoffed. "Do you just love taking whatever's mine?" Selena quickly replied. "I'm just worried about you. I'm with Alex now, and we're about to get married." "Well, congratulations to you both." After arranging the flowers, I returned to my room. I had just changed into my pajamas when I heard knocking at the door. Opening it, I saw Alex standing there. Do you really have a boyfriend now? Alex asked me. Is it any of your business? I'm just worried you might get deceived. Alex said. His name is Luis, right? I heard from friends you've been getting close lately. Considering how long Alex and I had been together, it wasn't surprising that we shared mutual friends. Nor was it unusual that they exchanged news about us. Yeah, I admitted bluntly. We even had a candlelit dinner tonight. You know he has a girlfriend abroad, right? Alex said, visibly agitated. So what? I replied calmly. I said he has a girlfriend. He's got a girlfriend and he's still seeing you. What does he take you for? Alex was furious at my indifferent response and started to lash out. Before I could respond, he continued his rant. Nicole, what do you think you're doing? Since we broke up, are you just going to throw yourself away like this? There are good men everywhere. It's not just me. Why are you doing this to yourself? Are you trying to make me feel guilty? Ha! I couldn't help but laugh. I laughed out loud. What are you laughing at? Alex was still fuming. I'm laughing at how shameless some people can be. Stop pretending. Nicole, I know you still have feelings for me. If you didn't, why haven't you dated anyone else all this time? Why are you with someone who has a girlfriend? You're just doing it to get back at me, Alex said with utter confidence. So you agree that being with a man who already has a girlfriend is disgraceful, right? I didn't want to argue anymore. It was pointless. A man like Alex, so self-absorbed, so convinced of his own worth, would never see himself as anything less. A pathetic sense of pride forced him to be extremely arrogant. Utterly disgraceful, Alex stated firmly. What about Selena? I smiled as I asked him. Alex froze, clearly not expecting such a sarcastic remark from me. My situation with Selena is different. How is it different? I laughed even harder. Weren't you in a relationship with me when you got involved with her? So how come, in your case, you and Selena were pursuing true love, but my relationship with Luis is something shameful? Do I need to have an affair at a wedding to call it a praiseworthy love? Alex's face turned red from my words. He gritted his teeth. Nicole, I'm only trying to protect you. I know Luis is just playing with you. As soon as the new year is over, he's going abroad. Do you really think there's a future between you two? How would I know without trying? Who's to say he won't give up his plans to leave the country? Give up his girlfriend, just to be with me? If Selena can do it, why can't I? I deliberately provoked Alex, and I said it loudly enough for Selena to hear from outside the door. She'd been eavesdropping for a while now, but I acted like I hadn't noticed. Alex, standing with his back to the door, certainly hadn't realized either. Chapter 9. You're just trying to prove you're more attractive than Selena. To put it bluntly, you're bitter because she took me away from you. Alex remained as confident as ever. I said nothing, just stared at Alex. Why are you staring at me like that? Do I have something on my face? Alex frowned. Yeah, I nodded. What is it? Alex quickly began touching his face in a panic. A little bit of disgust. Nicole, Alex shouted, furious. Since you're so shameless, there's no point in sparing your fragile ego anymore. I spoke bluntly, my words piercing straight through his pride. Luis comes from a prestigious family. His father is a business tycoon. His mother is a university professor. Everyone around him is wealthy and well-connected. You're just some small-town overachiever. You're not even close to being on the same level. He graduated from a top international university, is tall, handsome, witty, and charming. Most importantly, he isn't burdened by insecurity or arrogance. His relaxed attitude toward life is something you'll never be able to achieve in your lifetime. With someone as exceptional as him, how could you possibly think I would still be hung up on you? Do you think I've completely lost my mind or that I've taken a blow to the head? I watched as Alex's face turned green with anger from my words. Don't ever show up in front of me again, I said, enunciating every word. You're too much of an eyesore. Nicole, remember what you said. You better not regret it. Alex was furious. He threw out his words and stormed off. At the door, he clearly saw Selena. But he didn't stop for a second. Selena glanced at me, as if she had something to say. But in the end, she bit her lip and chased after Alex. After that, Selena started coming home more frequently. She stopped following Alex around on his travels and instead subtly tried to gather information about me from my parents. Eventually, she found out that my relationship with Luis was getting closer. On my birthday, I deliberately called my mom and told her that I was going to have dinner with Luis outside and wouldn't be coming home. I even gave her the place and time of our dinner. Sure enough, at 6:30 in the evening, we coincidentally ran into Alex and Selena at the restaurant. They were arm in arm. So were Luis and I. I saw Alex's gaze fixate on my arm wrapped around Luis's. Selena, too. But Selena's gaze lingered more on Luis, sizing him up from head to toe, her eyes glowing with interest. Sis, what a coincidence. Want to join us for dinner? Selena greeted us proactively. Not interested. I rejected her outright and then pulled Luis toward the table I had reserved. During dinner, I could feel Alex and Selena's eyes on us from time to time, but I ignored them. Halfway through the meal, Luis gave me a surprise. He sat at the elegant restaurant's piano and played a beautiful melody to celebrate my birthday, attracting everyone's attention. He also gave me flowers and an expensive piece of jewelry in front of everyone, making many girls envious, including Selena. I watched the predatory look in Selena's eyes, barely concealing her desire. So when Luis got up to go to the restroom, Selena followed him. As soon as Selena left, Alex immediately headed toward me. Chapter 10. Nicole, are you serious? Are you really going to be Luis's mistress? Alex said with a face full of disdain. Don't make it sound so ugly. I replied calmly. Luis and I are in true love. You're really not the Nicole I used to know anymore. Does it matter if I'm the Nicole you knew? I said indifferently. To me, you're just someone insignificant. Do you think I still care about what you think of me? Nicole, I already told you. Don't show up in front of me, it's an eyesore. With that, I stood up and headed straight to the restroom. Alex followed after me, and then we both saw it, in the hallway near the restroom. Selena was leaning into Luis's arms. Thank you, Luis. If not for you, I would have fallen on the floor, Selena said, appearing flustered. Though anyone could see she was pressing her body closer into Luis's embrace. I noticed Alex's face turn dark, probably because this scene felt all too familiar. This was exactly how Selena seduced Alex back then, wasn't it? Luis straightened her up. Selena pretended to twist her ankle again, and once more fell into Luis's arms, tightly hugging his body and letting out a delicate cry. Aw, it hurts. What happened? Luis asked, concerned. It seems I twisted my ankle. I can't walk. Do you need me to take a look? Luis asked. Wouldn't that be too much trouble? And if my sister sees us? What if she misunderstands? Are you really afraid of being misunderstood? Luis leaned closer to Selena's ear, speaking flirtatiously. Isn't the whole point of this to seduce me? No, I'm not. But even as she denied it, she pressed herself closer against Luis. Luis took advantage of the situation and held her, asking, Didn't your sister say you were getting married? And you're still acting like this? Who said I'm getting married? There's no way I'd marry Alex. Selena buried herself in Luis's arms. I don't like him at all. He's just a climber. Totally unworthy of me. I haven't brought up breaking up because I was worried he wouldn't take it well. Really? But I heard you took Alex from your sister at her wedding. Luis teased. And now you're already moving on? Or maybe you just like your sister's men? She doesn't want them anymore. And neither do you? No way. Selena denied it. I just genuinely like you. Be honest with me. Do you just like your sister's men? Luis lifted Selena's chin. Anyway, I'm just playing around with your sister. But I like honest women. Selena seemed desperate to snatch Luis away from me. So she admitted. Yes. Ever since I was young, I loved taking her things. Why is it that when I had nothing, she got to enjoy everything from our family as if it was all hers by right? I was jealous. So I swore, anything that belonged to my sister, I would take, including her men. Selena, are you with me just because I'm your sister's boyfriend, and not because you like me? Alex could no longer stay silent, shouting at them in anger. Chapter 11. Selena was startled. She hadn't expected Alex and I to be there. She quickly stammered. And no, It's not what you think. I was just helping my sister test Luis to see if he truly loves her. That's not true. Luis exposed her. The way you were leaning into me just now, trying to press your entire body against mine, rubbing against me, it was almost like you were about to strip on the spot. I didn't. Luis said nothing more and walked away from Selena, heading toward me. Old classmate. How did the mission go? I smiled and nodded. I'll apologize to your girlfriend later for getting her boyfriend's body tainted. No need. She despises pretentious coquettes the most. She actually supports me helping you. I'll have to treat her to dinner abroad someday. Deal. Luis and I walked away together. Behind us, I seemed to hear Alex's furious screams. Selena, I'm going to kill you. Do you know how much I sacrificed for you? How could you do this to me? Selena also screamed. Alex, let go of me. You lunatic. You deserve to be seduced by me. Blame your own stupidity. Now that everything's out in the open, I'm done playing with you. We're breaking up. Anything Nicole doesn't want. I feel disgusted just looking at it. Let go of me. I didn't turn back to watch the spectacle. A dog-eat-dog fight. What's there to see? But I had to admit, there was a certain satisfaction in this revenge. Later, I heard that Alex and Selena ended up at the police station that day. They both were bruised, in a very undignified state. And after that, I also heard that Alex's company faced major problems. He was deep in debt, on the verge of bankruptcy. Of course, none of this matters to me. Alex is just an outsider. As for Selena, because she repeatedly tried to seduce my boyfriend, my parents finally had enough of her and disowned her, kicking her out of the family. I thought I would never have anything to do with these two again. But I didn't expect Alex to have the nerve to come see me. He waited for me at the company entrance after work. After months without seeing him, Alex looked noticeably thinner, the whole of him appearing quite disheveled. Of course, I knew about his current predicament. If he couldn't secure another loan, his company would go bankrupt. He said, Nicole, I was wrong. I never thought Selena would turn out to be like this. I looked at him indifferently, my lips curling in a mocking smile, as if watching a joke. He continued sorrowfully, Selena deceived me, and I deeply regret it. Now I realize that the person I love is you. Can we start over? I swear, I will never betray you again. If I do, I'll break both of my legs. I sneered. Didn't you say you'd break both of your legs the last time you betrayed me? How are they still there? What are you, a centipede or a crab, with so many legs? Alex was visibly embarrassed by my words. Stop acting. I'm not going to guarantee your loan with the bank. I laid it all out clearly. Wasting even a second on him was a waste of my life. I'm not here to ask for a loan guarantee. I really realized that you're the one I love. When you were with Luis, I was jealous. I just didn't dare admit it. Afraid you'd laugh at me. And you're not afraid now? I'm more afraid of losing you than being laughed at. Ugh, I couldn't help but retch. This is truly disgusting. Alex's face turned pale, his eyes reddening as he asked me, Nicole, can you really not forgive me? Didn't you and Luis put on that show to expose Selena so I could see her true colors? So we could get back together like before? I couldn't help but laugh again. Without further words, I said bluntly, Alex, you're not the only one who has been reborn. Chapter 12. Alex was stunned. In our previous life, when you killed yourself for Selena, did you ever think about me? Who was still pregnant? I said coldly, what reason do I have to forgive you, let alone love you again? Everything I've done was for revenge, for myself, and for my unborn child. Nicole, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Alex panicked, trying helplessly to grab me. I avoided him. He kept saying, it was my fault. Terribly wrong of me. How could I abandon you and our child for a woman like that? Nicole, listening to him just annoyed me. So I called over security. Get him out of here, and don't let him step foot in this place again. Nicole, even as the security guards dragged him away, Alex's eyes were fixed on me, filled with regret. To me, it was nothing but laughable. Why regret it now? I left indifferently, and after that, I never let Alex see me again. He called me, and I blocked his number. I didn't answer any calls from unknown numbers. He waited for me at the company and outside my apartment building, but I had security drive him away each time. I even reported him to the police, completely putting an end to Alex trying to find me. Just when I had forgotten about these people, Selena suddenly showed up. She shamelessly demanded money from me, threatening to expose how we had kicked her out of the family, saying she would ruin my and my family's reputation. I simply sent her the video of her seducing Luis. I knew she'd come to this once she had nowhere else to go. Selena lost it. When I was driving home from work, she drove her car straight at me without hesitation. And at that moment, a car came speeding from the side and crashed into Selena's car, sending it flying. The two cars were completely wrecked right in front of me. I got out of my car, still shaken. I saw Selena's car, its front end was completely deformed, and she was trapped inside, bloodied and lifeless. The other car wasn't in much better shape. Alex was inside, covered in blood, but his eyes were still open, as if he was using every bit of his strength to see me clearly. I saw his lips move, as if he was saying, "I'm sorry, it was useless." I shook my head, refusing his apology, even in death. Alex was just atoning for our lost child. I would never forgive him for what he had done. Soon, the police arrived at the scene. Selena was pronounced dead on the spot. Alex, after emergency treatment, became a vegetative state, forever confined to a bed. I never went to see him in the hospital, because Alex no longer existed in my world. After all, my life had long since begun anew.